It started with a call, a woman's voice trembling in the dead of night. "Officer, please. There's something strange outside my house." The call came through the police radio to Officer Hopper. Hopper was calm, steady, the kind of man who had seen it all. But tonight, something about the sound of that voice made his blood run cold. "Ma'am, what exactly do you see?" he asked. Her answer came in whispers. "It's tall. It doesn't move. It just watches." From the trees, the line went silent. Hopper grabbed his jacket and flashlight. He called for backup. 3 officers joined him, half awake, joking nervously in the car. None of them knew. Only Hopper would return alive. The drive was long, through roads that felt emptier than usual. Streetlights flickered and hummed. Houses stood dark, lifeless, as though the entire town was holding its breath. Finally, they reached the address. The house loomed at the end of the road. It was old, wooden, leaning slightly, with windows like dead eyes staring back. Hopper knocked. The sound echoed too loud. The door creaked open on its own. The smell of dust and damp wood rushed out. "Police department. Anyone home?" Hopper called. Silence. Then, faintly, the sound of a kettle boiling. They stepped inside. The furniture was covered in sheets. Cobwebs stretched across corners, the wallpaper peeled like old skin. But the stove in the kitchen still burned faintly, as if someone had just been there. Then came the sound. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. Upstairs. "Hello," one of the officers shouted. "This is the police."
Out.
The footsteps stopped instantly.
No.
The silence pressed against their ears. "Cover the stairs," Hopper ordered. One officer went up. Another circled to the backyard, while Hopper stayed near the door. His flashlight beam shook slightly. Scream tore through the house. Sharp, human, and then silence. Hopper ran upstairs, 2 steps at a time. His partner was gone. Only his badge remained on the floor, still warm as if it had just fallen. Another scream, this one outside, the backyard. Hopper rushed down, flashlight cutting through the dark. But when he reached the back door, there was no one, just the garden. And in the middle of it, the woman from the call. She stood still, pale face turned toward him, eyes wide. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Hopper called. She didn't answer. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Hopper stepped closer. "It's okay. You're safe now," her lips whispered, barely audible. "Shouldn't have come," and then she vanished. The air turned freezing cold. Hopper's breath came out in mist. He staggered backward into the house. Only it wasn't the same house anymore. The hallway stretched too far. The doors shifted. Rooms led to nowhere. The air buzzed with whispers. Hundreds of voices overlapping, none of them clear. His radio hissed. Static. Then a voice low and distorted. "Leave." Another officer's scream exploded through the static. Then nothing. Hopper was alone. Shadows flickered at the edges of his flashlight. Too fast to follow. Shapes too tall, too thin. He stumbled into a bedroom. The bed was neatly made. On the nightstand sat a phone, ringing, hands shaking. Hopper picked it up. "Hello?" The same woman's voice whispered, "I told you not to come." The line went dead. The walls groaned. The floor shifted. The entire house seemed alive, breathing. Doors slammed shut, one after another. Hopper ran, his flashlight beam bouncing wildly. He heard his partner's voices calling his name, distant, muffled. He ran toward them, but every hallway only led him back to the same place, the front door. The handle wouldn't turn. The lights flickered. A figure stood at the top of the stairs, too dark to see clearly, taller than any man. Its head tilted unnaturally to the side. "Who's there?" Hopper shouted, aiming his flashlight. The beam hit nothing. The figure was gone. A whisper in his ear, "Only you will leave." Hopper spun around, heart pounding. No one there. His radio hissed again. This time it was the sound of his fellow officers screaming, begging, then silence. One by one, they were gone. Hopper collapsed against the wall, breath ragged, covered his face with his hands. When he looked up, he was outside, standing in the middle of the street. The house behind him, gone. Just empty grass. Morning sunlight broke through the fog. Backup patrol cars rolled in. They found Hopper trembling, pale, whispering over and over, They're all gone. They're all gone. Never spoke about what he saw inside. He never returned to duty. And no trace of the other officers was ever found. To this day, no one knows what waited in that house, or why it let only Hopper go.